So, hello everybody, I'm Rachel Gibson. I'm a professor in the politics department, and my theme is digital society, which I guess, as the name suggests, is quite broad. So, as Dave said, we're looking for, at this point, I think, opportunities to bring people forward who have, research that connects, ideas that connect with digital society, broadly defined, but I have tried to put a bit of kind of shape onto it in terms of what I think maybe are the key questions that we're looking at. My own background in terms of how I come to digital sort of research is for my sins, probably for the last, even from when the internet first began, so that's the late 1990s, I have been working on how political parties and campaigns and elections and democracy in general has sort of adapted to the digital era. And that's sort of driven a lot of my interest in some of the topics that form part of the digital society. So the key question, if we can say there is one, I think, and this is sort of raised by probably ongoing contemporary trends within digital society, which really come down to questions about kind of opportunities, but also harms or threats or risks and trust. And I think those are sort of the key core themes that sit at the heart of the digital society area of research. So I think the question I like to think that we're sort of posing or trying to answer is, how can we harness the potential of digital transformation while safeguarding society against its most serious risks? And I think a lot of the research that I've been doing, a lot of the research that I've come across in other parts of the university, I think would fit into this, would probably have something to say about that question. So it's a sort of starting point to kind of bring people in if their research connects in that way. And I think there is a range of different sub-themes, some of which obviously connect with other themes within the Digital Futures platform, but obviously questions of inclusion and inequality, they were always kind of at the heart of digital, and they're still there, certainly around AI and kind of, algorithms and who they leave behind and the biases that they have. Data privacy and protection, that's become an increasingly important topic in terms of for governments and regulation, Ofcom now play a role. And again, in my own work, this has kind of been an area that, as a political scientist, I sort of started life thinking that I looked very much at voters and campaigns and elections, and actually I've become much more aware of the role that regulation now plays in terms of shaping how parties use digital technologies and this kind of interaction effect. And then obviously things around online safety and the freedom of expression is a really big debate. The whole problem of mis and disinformation, AI, trust, again, as I said, clearly a contemporary challenge that links very much to the key question. But there's also kind of on the flip side, I don't want it all to be kind of sort of, the bad news. The good news is there is some good news. There are initiatives, there are things that are happening in education, skills, literacy. They're trying to sort of enhance skills of people to kind of navigate the digital era, and particularly with regard to AI and how we can build competences and capacity for people to kind of be able to understand what is in AI content and what providers need to do as well to kind of make sure that people understand that. And then, of course, my own kind of pet interest, I couldn't help but put it in there, democracy in the digital age. And then also probably looking more broadly as well, and this connects, I think, with Dave's theme about the global digital divide as well. So broad, as I said. In terms of where our kind of tendrils lie across the university, largely sort of coming out of social sciences, I guess, in many ways, but spanning across, hopefully, into other parts of the university. So the Centre for Digital Trust and Society, led by Nick Crossley, is kind of one of the core centres of research that sits at the heart of the theme. Also the Cathy Marsh Centre for Social Research is another institute where research is happening around the digital space, and particularly around methods. The Mitchell Centre for Social Network Analysis. There's also the National Centre for Text Mining, and then MIA, the Massachusetts Institute for Innovation Research, and then Sprite Plus. So all of these are ones that I've kind of mapped and initially had a kind of discussion with the leads to see if they might be interested in getting together and having a discussion, what I'm calling a connection session. But if there are others to include, that I have not got there, then please, this is a session where people could be able to kind of point that out to me, so I'd be very happy to discuss. And just in terms of future, I don't have as many as Dave did, so I feel a bit like... Plus I've got a podcast series. You added to that, Dave, that's not fair. So yeah, we have a podcast series as well. we'll have a podcast off in terms of, and views. Yeah, exactly. We don't have any beer, sorry. Maybe some wine. I should have to think about that. So the idea would be to have a series of themed talks with experts, both from within Manchester but also outside, that would come in and talk about different aspects of the digital society. So things around regulating the digital society, or digital ID, for instance. Ideas around sort of trust in AI. So we could sort of think about different series that we could bring people in, have a kind of a discussion type of format, but that would help, I think, promote the theme internally and externally. Also, I'd like to, I've been talking about, maybe thinking about helping to develop a keynote talk that could form part of the platform as well. So in March, there's an idea of doing something. And I thought, well, let's be bold. AI in the future of humanity. Okay. And then a workshop, hopefully planned for next year, probably around July time, that links in with the Centre for Digital Trust and Societies forum. That would be around regulating the digital society. So we'll be doing a call for papers for that will go out, and if people have work that they would like to present.